Welcome to the Weather Guru podcast for November the 8th, 2024. Thank you for joining me. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel so you get the latest notifications of tropical weather and weather going on in the lower 48. Currently, you're looking at a water vapor imagery showing cool and clear, dry weather in the southeast and the northeast. But you notice in the middle of the country, we have this big common shape here. This is the winter storm that's taking hold of the front range from Denver to Colorado Springs into northern New Mexico and the Raton Pass. There heavy snow, and there's a 4 to 6 inches of snow expected through tonight. And that's ejecting out into the high plains in Nebraska and Kansas, western Kansas too as well there, providing some additional snowfall in the Black Hills of Nebraska, the hills of Kansas and the hills of Nebraska there, the plains of Nebraska. Now, looking down south, you can see that there is Hurricane Rafael, a Category 2 storm. It's being heavily affected by wind shear and all this dry air on the western side of it. It's going to basically make a loop and then disintegrate as it heads back towards southern and central Mexico here. So that's good news for the coastal United States, Gulf Coast United States there. But we're going to get more information on that in just 1 second. I'm going to go back to the National Weather Service hazards. Current hazards, like I said, we have that winter storm warning in pink and purple for much of Colorado, northern New Mexico here, and then into the freeze watches, winter weather advisories in southeastern New Mexico and west Texas toward El Paso and the Big Bend area. Now we have flood watches continuing in the Red River Valley, extending just to the west of the DFW Metroplex, west of Wichita Falls, into west of Norman and Oklahoma and OKC, toward Enid, Oklahoma, and the Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle. Flood watches continue to be extended. These rivers are elevated, and they'll continue to pick up an additional 2-3 inches of rain through tomorrow, as well as Louisiana here, Lake Charles, Beaumont, Texas, down to Alexandria, Louisiana here. Some of these parishes north of I-10 could pick up additional flood watch and water there in the boggy swamps. And out east, we have a red flag warning. There's a burn ban warning for much of Maryland, central Maryland, Baltimore, D.C. area, up into Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, Scranton, Philadelphia, Trenton, New Jersey, all the way up through New York City and up to Boston. So no burning here as we continuing to find that out right now. That's what we have going on there as a National Weather has. Overall, not a bad day for much of the country, except the middle of the country. That's where we're seeing the most impacts on winter weather and from flood watches and rain there. Now, this is why Rafael is going to be struggling here. You see all this red? This is heavy wind shear, unfavorable wind shear conditions blowing off the tops of those high clouds around Rafael. And then you also have dry air, and you also have cooler water temperatures. The water temperatures is not as warm in the Gulf of Mexico this time of year, upwelling and ocean currents and things of that nature. Now, looking at the total picture here, you can see we have a little disturbance here just to the east and north of Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. This is only giving a 20% chance, less than 20% chance of development here as it continues to move west here, this little pulse. And then there's a little pulse of showers here in the Greater Antilles here, heading from Barbados, maybe over towards St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Martinique, Saba, St. Eustatius, some rain showers, but nothing too crazy here. This is not going to be developing here. And that's pretty much what we have going on here. Now, the outlook overall for our weather pattern the next 6 to 10 days is going to be above average for temperature-wise here. In this red and dark red, much above average here for most of the eastern 2/3 of the country, including the upper Midwest as well into this. Now, out west is going to be a little bit cooler for you folks in California with the marine layer. Also, with the temperatures going to be below average in the next 6 to 10 days for Las Vegas, the Grand Canyon wind country, the high and low deserts of California, central valleys and California, as well as northern California and into Oregon. So we're going to be interesting to see how that plays out as well. Now, here's a track of Rafael, like I was showing you once again. It's a Category 2 now. It's going to weaken to a tropical storm by this weekend and then disintegrate into a depression by the end of this weekend. And as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday of next weekend, it's basically just going to be another remnant area of low pressure probably dying out here slowly, the convection dying out here by next Wednesday or Thursday, and there'll be no longer be any advisories for this system here. But right now it's moving west at 9 miles an hour, winds are at 110 miles an hour, maximum sustained winds, and it's Category 2 in the southern scale. Well, I guess become a Category 1 later on in the Saturday, and then it's going to weaken in a tropical storm, and then down to a depression, then just a remnant area of low pressure here. So that's good news from Rafael. The next 2 names on the list is Sarah and Tony. We will see if we'll get to those names. In the meanwhile, this is what we have set up for tomorrow here. Severe thunderstorm, heavy rain, and flash flooding possible from the Mississippi River Valley, from Greenwood, Memphis, maybe possibly west of Nashville along I-40 in Jackson, Tennessee, back toward Muscle Shoals, Alabama. Tupelo, Mississippi, down through Greenville, Jackson, Mississippi, in the Delta, in the SIP, and down to Louisiana, back towards Beaumont and Lake Charles, Louisiana, and Cameron there. That's the chance for heavy weather and flat flooding potential in that red shaded area. Elsewhere, just scattered general variety rain and thunderstorms extending into the Ohio Valley, back towards south of Atlanta, Macon, over to Birmingham on I-20 corridor, and then just general rain showers up above that. And the snow continues, mixed precipitation now from Denver, Fort Collins, Colorado, up into Cheyenne, Wyoming, and up in the Black Hills of South Dakota. And out west, we have another little Pineapple Express coming in, so be careful if you're traveling along I-5 from Seattle to Bellingham, back down to Oregon, Salem and Coos Bay, and those areas there. East looks absolutely beautiful in the northeast and in the mid-Atlantic, and down south, still those unsettled showers coming in from the east, anywhere along I-95 from Jacksonville to Cape Canaveral to Boca Raton to Fort Lauderdale and Miami. Just kind of scattered garden variety mixtures, thunderstorms there. That's what we have going on here. Thank you for joining me for the Weather Guru podcast for November the 8th, 2024. Please be sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode.